Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe, and you're checking out Weekend at Gabe's, and thanks for checking out this latest episode. While you're here, also follow us on these social medias at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, and also at The Real Sam Crane. Thanks for checking us out. All right, let's reset. Let's try to like get the energy up on this a little bit. Let's reset. You're checking out Weekend at Gabe, the Weekend Gabe, the Real Sam Crane. Just follow on these socials below. Weekend Gabe, Weekend at Gabe's, and the Real Sam Crane by doing all three, putting all three into your social media timeline. Your happiness and energy will rise by 8%.
And actually, breaking news study, your resistance to COVID-19 will also rise by 8%. And that is just science, America.
And we follow the science on this show, so follow us. So that's what we do here. All right, joining us now, I think she's in the green space, Cupid Baby, who is one of the young artists that we need to keep an eye on. She's an artist, a stylist, creative director, a makeup artist. She was recently a part of the Girls' Night 2 that took place maybe a week or so ago. We're going to get into all that information. She's joining us now here on Weekend at Gabe's. Good evening. How are you?
Oh, we having audio problems again.
Uh-oh.
This happens sometimes.
It's okay. If you just go into the settings wheel, sometimes you just have to tell it to like use the mic from your phone.
Okay.
Or you may.
We got you. Ew.
We got you.
Hold on, I'm gonna do the air horns again so we can get it off. Yes. Yes. We are finally here.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank y'all for having me.
We appreciate it. Thank you for giving us your time. I know you're incredibly busy. Like we said, like listing all the jobs that you're currently doing, and you're fantastic at all of them. We had a really great chance to go through all your the photos and your modeling photos that you've done, and with other people, and the makeup that you demonstrate. So it sounds like you're up to a lot. So we appreciate it. First question, the biggest question of the night: are you born on February 14th?
No. Who said that?
He wants you to be born on Valentine's Day because your name is Cupid Baby. I told him it was a dumb question, but you know.
I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, oh no. Definitely not Cupid, but you know.
I only bring it up because I just did a hashtag Cupid Baby, and it's like all these photos of babies who are born on February 14th, and I was like, oh.
So I'm so you know my birthday passed August 9th.
Oh, happy belated.
No, thank you.
Well, let's get into. I want to start off with some of the music that you have started there. You haven't really released anything anything recently, right? So Mind Right was the latest record. All the records that you have posted up on your SoundCloud, Speedy Gonzalez, I Don't Know, Deja Vu. All these are phenomenal records, and they're super produced well. I really wanted to ask, like, why aren't we getting more songs from Cupid Baby? Because it sounds like you really have a rhythm, and you know what your sound is and what you want it to be, and you rap really well, you sing really well, you do all these components really well. What do we need to do to push you to get an album, a mixtape, something a more fully compact, so that we can get that ball running? Because I think that you're definitely making the world suffer waiting for it.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's crazy because you'd be surprised who's actually listening. And I feel like I've been like writing for a little minute. I started like trying to take music more seriously, I'd say for like 2 years now. But honestly, I allow myself to kind of just exist sometimes. And there's times where in life, like I just kind of get in my shell, like I turn into a turtle, like I just isolate myself, kind of like things that spark my interest just kind of like seem dull for a minute. But
Sure.
I feel like that's all a part of like the creative process, is to allow yourself to feel these things and go through the motions. But as soon as like you're over something, get back to it. And I feel like that's the space I'm in right now, to where I realize these things as well. Like, yo, I only have a SoundCloud. I still haven't released a song on all platforms. So that's pretty much the next step. I'm working towards either a mixtape or an album, so that people can for real like see who Cupid Baby is. Because I feel like so much going on that people are like, well, is she a model? Does she do this? Does she do that? And like, I just want people to like understand this is who Cupid Baby is. So definitely working on the album. Yeah. Pretty much you asked why I haven't been making music. Like I said, I feel like just so much has been going on in my personal life, which it's not an excuse. It's just I had to allow myself to exist for a little bit.
Right, right.
Now I'm ready and just like so much more looking forward to just putting myself out there. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm glad you brought up the turtle analogy, because a lot of people have been bringing that analogy up to me lately, and I like it a lot.
Especially, you know?
You said what?
I said especially with COVID and so much things happening in the world. It's like,
yeah,
it's a lot.
Absolutely. And I guess I was just wondering, because I've asked, when my friends bring it up, I always ask them the same question. When you inside your turtle shell, what does it look like in the interior? You know what I mean? Like, is it leather couches? What are you up to in there? Are you playing video games? Is it exposed brick in there? Like, what does the architecture look like on the inside of your turtle shell?
Like, literally, or like what you
I'm saying, like, you know, if you retreat into like this mental space, right? And this mental space, I'm thinking of like SpongeBob, you know, when you go inside of Gary's shell and it's like a big old library. Well, like, what is inside your shell?
It could be a lot of different things. It's really depending on what I'm going through. And personally, I feel like my turtle shell's been a little messy lately. Like, much going on. Like, my headspace hasn't been right. Honestly, like, that emo shit, like, no. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes it's gonna get messy, sometimes it's gonna get ugly, but it's gonna get ugly before it gets amazing. And that's how I feel. I really, really deeply feel that something is going to happen, something amazing is gonna happen from all of this, because, you know, life's been crazy, like I said, these past couple months, but I've allowed myself to feel those feelings, to think those thoughts, and now I'm ready to like put it on paper and get busy, or like, you know, I'm trying to for real do things that are gonna benefit me instead of just like staying where I was at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I'm trying to make what I got, and it's awesome. I love it.
Hell yeah. And speaking of getting busy, we're coming off the back of Girls Night 2. Where you absolutely ripped the performance. Tell me how you got involved there. First off, how did you get booked for that, and what made you open to it?
Well, no, Hannah Montana, we follow each other or whatever, and a lot of the artists there, it's like, it's funny in the Chicago scene because you will most likely have bumped into someone or seen someone at an event, an art event, a showcasing event at some point in time, and it's like you end up following each other, and like later on you start peeping what they do, or they start peeping. And honestly, Instagram has been a huge platform for like myself, and I'm sure a lot of other artists, and we just like DM each other or be like, oh, there's an event coming. Like, that's what she did with me, and I was very thankful for it. You know, this year I would say was like the first year I started for real performing at different places, and it's fun. It's a vibe, you know, to bring the energy or to even just speak your truth in a room and have people listen. Like, it's awesome. I love it.
How important is it to have like these all women on stage together? Because obviously that's still, especially in hip hop, that is still something that the culture is transitioning to being more open and accepting of women and for other diversities. But how important is it to have a lineup full of women to just really cement that female voices are important?
Well, it's super important because I feel like as women, like, we can all relate on several different things, and it's like a lot of times the things we talk about in our music is similar, and so it's like we can relate, and like just the support in general, just being present in the room, just applauding, just like, you know what I'm saying, to have that from another woman is so grand. Like, men, they go through a lot as well, but on certain levels they can't relate to us. So, and a lot of time I feel like now female artists are starting to step up way more. Like, we have we're just gaining so much strength from all the things we've been going through that now we're just like ready to pop. So it's really dope to see the other artists doing it in your city. You know what I'm saying? It's very important. There's too many male artists in the industry who get to say what they want to say, who are already up there. You know, where are the female artists from Chicago? You know, there's like a solution that I would say are for real doing it. So, you know, artists that are like getting there, that are trying to build some shit for themselves, it's super important because we're all at that point right now. We're not there yet, but we're working there, and it's awesome to get support from those people.
Do you feel like when you interact, especially in a hip hop space, that you feel like marginalized or silenced, even like at the major shows?
That's a good question. I feel like that's just what society. That's like what society has tried to do for so long, that sometimes you get those feelings that you're being silenced or you're not getting the proper attention, but you got to remind yourself that's all in your head. People are going to perceive you how you portray yourself, how you present yourself in a room. That's how people are how they're gonna perceive you. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to always stand strong, stand tall, be confident at all times, because that's how people are gonna view you. You know, you gotta view yourself how you want others to view you first, or else it's not gonna happen. I feel. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Here's your point.
I'm saying it's super important to like be in tune with yourself, to for real face all those emotions, all those insecurities, all the lies in your head. You gotta face that first so that you can actually come into a room and shine. Because if you come into a room with all of that in your head, people gonna feel that. It's the energy, you know, you feel that.
Yeah.
How has like social media like kind of affected if it has like your security within yourself? Because you're talking about it right now is like trying to push those things out, but like likes, views, SoundCloud plays, people in attendance, because you have this huge confidence that you portray in yourself. But like, do you kind of have to like battle some with that, you know, what that part of acceptance or awareness of who you are, you know what I'm saying? Is like, does that ever play into like any doubt of like, damn, am I good enough? Like, why am I not getting the million views? Or well, like, what am I missing? Do you have to kind of like separate those borders and boundaries?
Well, I feel like everybody has certain things that sometimes may be lies that play in their head, but I feel like ever since a kid, like, I know my worth, and I've had visions from a kid of like where I'm supposed to be. And that sounds so cliche, but it's like you have to constantly tell yourself that you're good enough. And regardless of what your likes may be right now, regardless of the views you're getting, I just always tell myself, I know when my time is coming, and it's going to come when it needs to come. Like, I might want it right now really badly, but it's probably not my time. Maybe I need to get better at this, or maybe I need to get better on that. Really, the focus is on bettering myself, being the best version of myself. And I know that when I feel like I've reached that Cupid that I'm trying to be, then everything's gonna align. The viewers are gonna align. Everything's gonna align. I know that I have work I could do on myself to be better. I know that I could be better. So I'm not stressing none of that. It's hard nowadays to be like, damn, why am I not getting? Because I be thinking about that sometimes. I'm like, damn, this picture is fire. Why I only got 150 likes? Like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not a superficial person. So I personally never cared. But unfortunately, like nowadays, it's like monkey see, monkey do. If people see like somebody has this clout, they're gonna have all the clout because they already some people on somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not on that, because I know when I have my little group or like my fans or whatever, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like
support system.
Like they start coming to me, everyone's gonna come. You know, I'm not
gravitate towards you. Yeah.
Stay humble in the process, because like I said, I'm not superficial. You know, I never grew up with a lot. You know, I grew up with what I needed. I'm very thankful for everything I have. So I know it's coming.
Yeah. I would just like to say, for the record, for anybody watching out there, 150 likes is a great day for me, and an astronomical day for Weekend Gabe.
Backdoor here, Chow.
One of the ways that you do separate yourself from the crowd is that you do a lot more than music, and we touched a little bit on the modeling. But what stood out to me when I was watching back some of the girls' night performances, I think I was catching them on Bodie Z's page, was your fashion choices, number one, which I thought were excellent, and the makeup, which I think separates you from the pack a little bit. So talk about your philosophy there. When do you feel like, okay, this is the outfit, this is how we gonna do it, and when we walk in the room, everybody's eyes on me?
Well, I just kind of go with, I don't want to say go with the flow, because I heard a funny quote. It's like only dead fishes go with the flow. I just go, you know, I'm a Leo, like I said, so I like things that stand out in some type of way. Like it either gotta have a pop of color, like I love me some color. It gotta have details, you know what I'm saying? And for girls' night, I'm Cupid Baby, and I had this dress I hadn't worn yet with the like, it's all white, has some fluff on the bottom. I feel like an angel wearing it, so I'm like, I'm just gonna wear it because I haven't performed in a minute. I'm Cupid Baby. Wear. And like this top, you see, it's a little different. Got the stars. It's blue. I made this.
Word.
Oh yeah. I do a lot of things, but I'm trying to like find the balance with it all. I feel like I've been my own team, so I just kind of like had to do it. Like
Right.
I'm my own makeup writer, I creative direct. It's like I'm my own team, so I got to work with what I have. I don't have like all of those people for me, a hairstylist that I could just call up and be like, I got a music video, do my hair. So I just had to learn how to do this, you know, but I also love it. Like since a little kid, like I feel like any girl who grew up with brats is going to be a fashion. It's gonna
That's a great point.
Yo, shout out to Bratz, man. It was like, I think people like undercut how influential Bratz was to like this generation, man. Bratz is a big deal.
Because I had like one or two Barbies, but they were whatever. I was a Bratz. You know? The girl passion for fashion, that's me, you know.
You know, even with our show, Cupid Baby, like, you know, Sam and I, we do all the post-production, the production, the pre, everything. And we know that this is really a huge task and a huge weight for us to put this show on every day or every 2 days a week. So for you to be doing all your management, your own design, your own appearances, the recording, like talk a little bit about like kind of like how do you maintain energy so that you don't feel overwhelmed or overburdened, but you still find the drive to continue to keep working on these items, because you were mentioning like how you just know that keep working, keep improving, and you can only do that through experience. So how do you keep motivated without feeling like you're being overwhelmed either?
That's an awesome question, because I feel like that has definitely happened at some points in time. Like, for example, if I'm working on a big project, or like, let's give an easy example. Like if I'm working on a music video, I have to storyboard it. I have to write everything, like literally frame by frame. I have to find someone to film it for me. I have to think, oh, well, what's the look I want for this? Like set design, everything. And it could be a lot. And sometimes it could be easy to get, what's the word I'm like the opposite of motivated, to get
like stalled, or like, just in neutral.
It's discouraged.
Right.
Sometimes it's discouraged because you don't have everything, like you don't have all the resources, but you got to remind yourself that it's all within you. And like you said, what do I do when I feel discouraged? Honestly, I just work slower, because if I'm like rushing to get something done, or I'm like, it has to be like this, it has to be like this, then usually things that are rushed don't come out well. And on top of that, your mood is already projecting like anxiety and like irritation, and it's just not gonna be good. So what I would do is, if I got a storyboard, take a day to storyboard. And if you don't feel like you got all the ideas flowing yet, give it another day, give it a week if you need it. But try not to spend too much time on it. But for real, don't forget the goal that you have in your head of what you're trying to get accomplished, and just take it step by step, because you're only a one-man army. You know, you shouldn't expect to have it all done in a day and be hard on yourself because you don't have it done in a day. Like, that's something I'm learning right now, because I tend to be very hard on myself and very particular and very, I need
Sure.
it like this, like this. But you got to speak to yourself kindly, because you're awesome. You could do it. Take your time. That's it. Take your time.
Yo, this is one of my favorite interviews we've done yet. That's such great advice.
Thank you, dude.
Quality over quantity, kids. That's the
Yeah.
that's the lesson learned today.
These people who are doing it, who are up there already, you would be surprised how many people are on that set with them, and what each person does one little thing. You got one person on snacks, you got one person on making sure every strand of hair is in place, you got one person making sure the makeup. When you got to do all that for yourself, it's gonna be a little overwhelming, but it's okay.
Sure.
You're starting. That's the thing about starting. I feel like Chicago artists are very underappreciated, because we do a lot. We do a lot. Everyone who's starting anything, a business, you do a lot, but that's that hard step that's gonna get you further. You got to do it for yourself at first, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be like that forever. Yeah. Eventually, you're gonna meet the people who are like, damn, she's raw as hell. She did all that by herself, and they're gonna be so down to help you with your vision, because they saw it came to fruition, even if it was just you. So they're gonna want to help you. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of which, shout out to all the Chicago artists in the chat. See Money Wave saying some very nice things. That is what's up, my friend. One of the things that stood out to me, especially talking about creative direction, is how flawless the artwork is on all of the records that you have out on SoundCloud. Like, they're really high quality photos, really well taken, really great composition. And I could tell just from the way that you describe in your work process that is all very meticulously done on your end. What point do you get to where you're like, okay, this is good now? You know, like, how do you reach that point?
Well, you know, when you take pictures, you take a lot of pictures. Like, per shoot, it's like it could go from 100 to 300 to 1,000 pictures in one shoot. So me personally, you know, I know a lot of photographers don't like to send out the whole folder with all your pictures, because, you know, they want to have some say in like what pictures are the best, or like what pictures they want to edit. But thankfully, like, some of the pictures that are up there was taken by one of my friends. Shout out Swiper No Swiping. So I was able to like look through them. So really, it's just like finding the money shot. There's a lot of pictures, only one gets posted, so you gotta for real look. I don't know. I just haven't. And it's me, so you know when you look bogus in a picture, you're gonna be like, oh, eye wrinkles, no, or oh, this angle, no, not my angle. So you just gotta look through it, you know.
Word.
There you go. I know you said like a lot of this is DIY, and you figured out a lot of this stuff is just yourself, but what motivated you to start to design your own outfits, and then how did you go about learning those skills? Was it through YouTube University? Did you have a mentor? How did you go about like entering into that world? Because that seems like something that is very time consuming, and there's a lot of effort that you have to go to do that to be decent but good. But like, what drove you into that path of learning that skill?
Well, I'm not even all the way there yet.
You could have had us fooled. That's all I know. It's like, if you didn't say anything, I'd have been like, yep, if I need something done, I'll just go to Cupid Baby, and then she'll be able to knock this out for me.
But literally, I just one day had an idea, like literally out the blue. You know, I've always wanted to learn how to sew, but I've never been to a class. No one ever taught me nothing. But one day I was just like, literally, it's weird, because the way I get ideas, it's like I don't even know where I draw inspiration. I could see like one thing one day, and then like months later, I'm like, that material would look good on some pants or something like that. Like, it has to be one specific particular thing that I just feel would look good on a piece of clothing, and then I'll like have an idea to make something. It has to be different. Like, I don't ever just wake up and be like, I want to make just a simple denim jean. Like, it has to be something different. So the first day I ever made anything, I had an idea for a pair of pants, And I had bought this fabric from the thrift store. It was like double-sided denim. It was like a light wash and then a dark wash on the other side. It's kind of soft. It's not really denim where it's thick. And I had this shirt also that I really liked, but I never wore. And I was just like, I'm gonna make a pair of pants. And I told my grandma, she don't even know how to sew like that either, but she knows a couple things. So she kind of just told me how to measure my leg or whatever, like what sides to measure and what side goes on what. And then she kind of just left me because her sister ended up calling her and she was supposed to help me learn. And she I had the sewing machine. I'm like, okay, well, I'ma just wing it. And so like one video just to see like what side goes on what when you're trying to make a pair of pants. Watch that, and then when she came back, I had a leg done, and she was like, wow, you did that by yourself. So I ended up finishing the other leg, and that's when I made my first ever creation. It was like a pair of jeans. It had 3 pockets on one leg going down, and then the back I had used like I had reused this like Gucci bag that I had thrifted as well. I just like made some pockets with it, and I really freaking love those pants to this day. It's like my favorite pants that I own. So really no one taught me. It's just like when I have an idea for something, I'm the type of person that I'm not gonna stop till I do it, till I get what I want when I want.
That's great.
You know? So
that's that Leo energy coming out. We appreciate that on this side. Leo season was very powerful this year, man.
Yo, not as Virgo season, but we had our
There
moment.
We did. We definitely had our moment. I felt damn near immortal. In the month of July, you really couldn't touch me.
You're a Leo.
Oh yeah, July 26th.
Hey, we got another Leo in the building.
You know, I appreciate the Leo energy, man. You know, you gotta stand out from the crowd.
Listen, I didn't like that energy of like, well, it's Virgo season now. Hey, give us our love, all right? Like,
yeah, Gabe's a Virgo. Sorry about that. Yeah,
it
was very. Oh, go ahead.
And fire signs get along very well, so it's all love Virgos.
I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
Sam had a fantastic question about makeup that I think is worth mentioning. Do you want to get to that before we wrap, Sam?
No, because I told it to you because I wanted you to ask it, and now I forgot what it was, Gabe. So
okay, what is okay? This is a makeup question. What is it that guys don't appreciate about makeup?
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yep.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Hey,
there you go.
Damn.
Oh, I don't know.
Shit. All right. Well, I got one more question before we wrap up here. The name is Cupid Baby, and I thought we would close out with this question. You get to choose one Greek goddess or god to be. You can't choose Cupid. Who you picking?
A Greek goddess to be?
Yeah, you get to be, you know, you could be like Hera or Aphrodite or you know, whoever you want. You could even be Zeus if you really into your Leo energy. You know, Zeus is a Leo for sure. Word.
That's a good question. That's an interesting question. I never been asked that before. That's dope.
Word.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate y'all. I think y'all the first people to interview me, so that's dope.
Hey, you finally got an interview up. So if anybody's interviewing you in the future and they haven't watched this yet, you can tell them you're not doing the interview.
Exactly.
No repeat questions. That's what we do here on this show.
I can't wait to like look back at this interview later and like see where we at with it. You know what I'm saying? See the progress.
Absolutely.
You know?
We definitely want you to come back when you're ready to come back, and we appreciate it. And you're always welcome to come back. So just the door is always open.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all so amazing, and thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Cupid Baby joining us here on Weekend at Games on this Tuesday night, aka North Pole Shorty. Go follow her on her Instagram at Cupid Baby XX. It is the thing to do. It also will increase your social media timeline by at least 5%.
Yes, and 5%. Free support is the best support. Free. Give me that follow. Thank you.
Hey, Chicago sports Chicago. Tell a friend. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening. We appreciate it, and like I said, come back when you're ready, and we'd love to have you back.
Thank y'all. Have a great night.
You too. Keep it, baby. I love that conversation because I think she knows that there's still work to be done, but she's also proud of everything she's done to get to this point, and I like that.
Yes,
Because
I think we have a lot of musical artists on the show, and a lot of those musical artists have new albums out, new singles out, whatever. But I thought that despite sort of the the music that was out there, I think there's 5 or 6 records out on SoundCloud. I thought those records were fantastic, but it was everything else that she was involved in. I mean, the way she talks about making pants, like, that's an artist. People ask me a lot, what's the difference between a rapper and an artist? And that is an artist. So yeah, great to have her on, and looking forward to maybe some of that music hitting streaming services very soon.
I mean, it's a real experience, especially for anyone starting out. And you're like, I don't have a team, I don't have a budget. All I have is ambition and a will to learn, and just asking questions. And going to your grandmother is always a great start because they just have all the information. So just sort of just getting that basic, tool to begin, and her just like taking the initiative to learn and figure it out and apply it. So, and I think that she's doing that a lot with all the different roles that she plays. And, and like she says, eventually, like this is part of the lesson of growing, a part of your 10,000 hours to master your skill set. And it won't be like this forever if you continue, just keep working and chipping away. So I like her energy. I like her messaging. And I think that she's going to be fantastic moving forward. And I think the music is going to really unlock a lot of success for her, because she does legitimately have a lot to offer. And the few records that she does have is a lot better than a lot of shit that we've heard. so that's only speaking
not C Money Wave though. C Money Wave is tight. We love C Money Wave on this side.
Oh hell no, we're definitely not talking about C Money Wave. Is not in that pool that I was referring to. Let's reset. You're checking out Weekend at Gabe's with Weekend Gabe, the real Sam Crane. Weekend Gabe holding you down. Don't forget to give us a follow on these social medias, Weekend Gabe, Weekend at Gabe's, and the real Sam Crane, and subscribe to us on YouTube. If you missed any of this conversation, you jumped in at a halfway point, guess what? It's going to be up tomorrow morning, and you can catch the full entirety of it, because our super producer Sam Crane stays up late into the night putting it together for you, and your appreciation will be appreciated by hitting subscribe. Did I say appreciated enough in that one sentence?
I think you appreciated everything about that, my friend. You did a great job.
Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe. Thanks for checking out this latest episode of Weekend at Gabe's. Click on any of the links swirling around my head, and also hit the subscribe button while you're here. Thanks for checking out us here on YouTube.